views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What up? What up? What's happening, y'all? Producer lady say, "What's up?" Hey, it's Tuesday. It's it's 7 o'clock, so y'all know what it means. It's going down, and we gonna talk about it. But I am going to tell y'all that tonight we're gonna have a very interesting show because tonight I want to talk about a very interesting topic that has been something that we assume. Yeah, it came across my desk. We assume a lot of things in this community about a lot of things. And rather than assume a bunch of stuff, I'm going to put some stuff out there today that I think everyone should know as consumers, as patrons of the dance, as promoters. And this particular show, we're going to talk about what it means to be a promoter. I think we've done something like this in the past, but we're going to do something very much along these lines today. We're going to talk about what it looks like to be a promoter. And we're going to very, very clearly and specifically talk about contracts. Let me tell y'all something. Before I get into that, let me give a shout out to my son and his beautiful wife who are over in Bangkok, Thailand, kicking it real hard. I'm a little jealous right now. So, son, if you're watching, keep up the good work. I see you, my brother, over there checking out all kinds of good stuff and sending me a bunch of pictures. And I'm jealous. So next time you got to bring your pops. You know, my 60th is coming up. So, you know what I'm saying? You can plan a trip for your dad. You know, I'm just saying. Bernice Newsom Short is in the building. How you doing? Reggie Miles is coming through. Tina Blake Williams, Israel in the house. Thank you for coming in. So what we're going to talk about tonight is some stuff that deals with, hey, Blake Williams. I said Tina Blake Williams. So look, y'all, we're going to talk about something that I think everybody needs to hear. Hey, Von Marie, Joyce Taylor in the house. What? Oh, did you? Okay. Thank you. We're going to talk about a bunch of upcoming events. Before we get all the way off into that, though, what I want to talk about is something that I think is a very important subject matter. And I believe that educating the public on what happens makes it better for all of us as we move about the country and move about the community and doing all the different things that we do with the dance. Now, just as an example, let's look at it from the majority of you all, a consumer standpoint. Hey, Joyce Taylor, we see an event, and I'm going to ask you guys as well, what makes the decision about what event you choose? What are the deciding factors? What are the things that say to you, I'm going to that? Is it the DJs? Is it the instructor lineup? Is it the food, the alcohol? Is it the promoter? Are they a friend of yours? Are they somebody that you're fond of? What are the things that decide for you that you are willing to pay whatever the cost of entry? You are willing to buy plane fare or transportation, whatever that looks like. What is it that makes you decide that you're going to go and buy a new outfit that fits the theme of that event? There have to be deciding factors. Something is what tips you over that edge. Is it that who's going to be there? Is it that you know there's going to be a large crowd, or you know there's going to be a small crowd? Because everybody doesn't like large events. Some people choose and prefer the 300, 250 or less crowds. I'm not going to lie, I think I'm one of those too. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the hell out of some of the big ones too, but the big ones don't always You don't get an opportunity to really fellowship with everybody the way I like to personally. And I talk too much, so y'all know how that go. Kenneth Wynn is in the house. Hey, Netta McCormick, I see you all the way out there in Cali. We got Jackie Ballard from D.C. The DMV is in the house. Deborah Edwards all the way right here in San Antonio. I see you, my dear. Peaches Trust Process, how you doing? So the question becomes, what are the things that make you choose? Do you know that this particular DJ plays in a style that's going to be commensurate to what you choose and your dance style? Something makes that difference for you. Now, we all know that throughout this community, there are all sorts of personalities, all sorts of ideas, ideologies, processes by which people make the decisions. But one of the things that I want to point out, and I ask those questions from a patronage standpoint, from a consumer standpoint. But let's try and look at it from each side, because I think it's safe to say that every person who has ever become a promoter at one point was someone who went to an event and decided themselves, I can build a better mousetrap. And they made that choice whichever way they felt was necessary. Hey, Teresa Williams, how you doing? Now, as a promoter, I want to say immediately that I think one of the main things that is absolutely necessary is to have the kind of personality that is required in order to deal with many people, with many personalities, have a business mind, as well as be organized and a person who is capable of marrying those two things in humility, even when there are times where you may feel that you are right. If you don't have the temperament to deal with people who are going to bring their baggage with them to your event, maybe, just maybe, you should reconsider and think about doing something else. Jerome Cook, Clark Gibson, how you doing? And I say that I had an incident come up once with a promoter, I use the term loosely, who did some things that are not business-like, that are not what I would consider professional. And they didn't like my response to some of those things. So when I asked that individual what their thoughts were in regard to how they felt about what the public had to say about them, their response to me was, F them. They don't have to come. And I think it's safe to say that if that's your attitude as a promoter, you probably shouldn't be promoting stuff. I put a post on my page earlier this week where I said, be careful around people who always remind you that they don't give up. Because here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, what do they actually give about? What is it? Because if you don't care about whether people attend your event, you don't care about the people at your event, you don't care how the chips fall, you don't care about what your reputation becomes, my question is, why are you giving an event? What is your purpose? What is your motivation? What is the real reason why you decided to spend tens of thousands of dollars to have an event? People with that attitude, I'm going to go out on a limb here, my personal opinion, that they have an agenda. And it has nothing to do with the culture or the community at large. There's something else going on here. Is it a ego thing? Is it where they are trying to social climb? Are they trying to be more important, more seen, more relevant? What's the real reason? What's the real reason? There are people in this community. Joyce Taylor says money. Kenneth Wynn says ego. Joyce, here is my rebuttal to that particular word. If you don't care and you say, now remember what I said a minute ago, I don't give a, they don't have to come. Well, it would appear to me that you attract more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So why would a person have such a negative and pushed back attitude about their attendance at their event if they cared about the money? Because it would seem to me, as a good salesperson or a person who actually cares about that money, let's say that is the actual thing they care about, the money, nothing else. Would you or would you not do, as you do any job, whatever you have to do in order to obtain that bag, even if it's fake? Now, I'm not suggesting that that's what somebody should do, but I'm saying, wouldn't you fake it until you get that bread out of them? What do con artists and grifters do? They show you this side and they hide this side so that they can get what they want out of you. A person that is a con artist, y'all do know where the term con, where the con part comes from. It's kind of like Latin, right? Everything has its origin. And the word con comes from the word Devin Smith Jr. Sr. in the house. How you doing, man? Denise Gilden, Janet Wooten in the house. Hey, Sunshine Haywood, I see you. The word con derives from the word confidence. In order for me to con you, I have to first gain your confidence. And then once I have your confidence, see, that's what people do. They get your confidence and then they beat you out of your money. So even if money were my motivation for doing an event as a promoter, would I not want to get your confidence? And then gaining your confidence, that means that I have to smile at you, treat you nicely, and treat you in a way that's going to get you to separate yourself from the money in your pocket. So what? What are you going to say, producer lady? Mm-hmm. Right. No, I'm making the point of and I'm saying this specifically directed toward an individual who is interested in money. I'm talking about the one who says she made the point of saying that the reason was money. So I'm answering to the money. If that is the only reason being money, then there has to be you have to want people to like you enough to part with that money. So you can't say you don't give about them or they don't have to show up. Because now guess what? You just cut your own throat on the money side. Kenneth Wynn says flattery. And that is part of the social climb or the attempt at becoming popular or important. Now, some people do give events for that reason. I have found that there are promoters who believe that others know them and they are popular and they're well known, and they are not. And they use that as I'm going to give this event because everybody knows me and I'm going to do that. Okay, well, guess what? Sometimes it works, but most times it doesn't. Denise Gilden, how you doing? You say you never like clicks. Yes, me neither. However, here's the only thing. Arnice Baynard, how you doing? Here's the only thing about the clicks. I'm very careful about labeling because there are people who gravitate toward one another, which there's nothing wrong with that. The problem when you have people who group up, the only time it becomes an issue is when those people use their group as a way to bully others or to treat other people with bad and show bad behavior. Other than that, I don't have a problem with people clicking up. So I guess that's semantics. So we're not going to harp on that. Anyway, so there are people who want to promote events. Me personally, I encourage people to try their hand. Although we do also have the problem with there being way too many events, many of which are not well planned, which are not well thought out, which is going to take us as a segue into why some people don't do what I have suggested multiple times. Find someone who knows their way around this game. Let them help you to move in a positive direction. Do not let them take over the reins of your event. Be mindful and have common sense. Let me just stop. If you don't have common sense, don't give an event. Let me just say that right now. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't. Because you're going to end up having problems. Let me also reiterate, as I have on many occasions, please, 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 please ask questions. Popularity does not make people good. Popularity and being a good dancer does not make people good people. Devin Smith Sr., the facilitator of Black and Bling, which, by the way, the 10th anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks, and Inside Steppin will be in the house. Devin Smith Sr. says, and we must take his word because they have been in the game for 10 years now and doing well. A lot of people can gain other people's confidence, but the key, in my opinion, is keeping and maintaining that confidence over a sustained amount of time. 100% absolutely, Devin Smith Sr., thank you for that comment. And that is the thing. Some people, come on.
I was just saying, the first time we went to that party, I liked it because them two guys that's promoting and the people they had in the group, every last one was first.
Yes, and we're going to get into that. Right. Now, the producer lady says one of the most important things that she remembers about the very first time we ever went to a Black and Bling was that the Smiths, Devin, Tommy, made sure that their people were accommodated. They have the aptitude, unlike many, to do an event like that and be smart enough to act in a professional manner, take care of their people, and like he said, maintain the confidence of the people, which, by the way, is why they can say we're having a 10th anniversary. They would not be able to sustain a 10-year run, COVID included, without that confidence. Now, the only problem when confidence with confidence is when it becomes a con, which is when those people are only interested in money. And we know, and I personally, and I'm gonna just put this out there, I personally have had interactions with Devin and Tommy where there was something that I said, hey man, I noticed this, and maybe this is something y'all could improve upon. I saw other people who may have done similar things in the past, and I have watched. Now, this is not to say they took every suggestion of something somebody said they should do and did it, but I'm saying that they have made the necessary adjustments to make people feel that they care. If you don't care, why are you giving an event? Stop it. Let the rest of these people live. Real talk. My man, William Owens, the collaboration is real, is in the building. What's happening, family? Kenneth Jackson all the way out of Houston, Texas. What's up, baby? Daryl Presley in the house. What's happening? Tony Brown Huff, the facilitator, yet another fantastic promoter, does the New Year's Eve party in Houston, Texas, which, by the way, was a phenomenal event, very cost-effective and worth every dime. A person who figured out to gain confidence, and the food was great. They had steak and chicken, your choice, plenty of vegetables. Man, let me tell you something. We had real dinner on New Year's Eve. That was a great event. Let me tell y'all something. There are people who will be back for New Year's for Tony Brown Huff because of the quality and the fact that she actually cared. And Yeah, it started out, well, it was steppers, but it was a lot of other stuff going on, which, by the way, it was off the chain. I don't care what it was, what you call it. We had fun. Kim Davis in the building. CK Productions is in the house. So, Dennis Moore, what's up, man, out there in Cali? I see you. So, Kevin Portier, he says, hello, my brother, praying and hoping that everything is going well with you and your family. Shout out to everybody who's watching on this show. Thank you for coming through, my brother. So I'm saying that to say you have people who do not have the aptitude for this this area of the Steppin community. And I want you to understand what is going on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We having some technicals, huh? Yeah, we are. We switched modems in the studio here recently, and it seems that we may be having some problems. I hadn't had any problems up until today. Dig that. Huh, okay. Anyway, you have people, we're going to keep going as long as we can. That's something we got to work out over here. There are people who just simply do not have the tolerance or aptitude for dealing with a lot of different people throughout the community. And so my suggestion is just keep dancing and don't try to do this. The bottom line is, as being a promoter is not easy, and it is not cheap. If you think you're going to give a 3-day weekend and you're not going to spend 20 grand or better, forget about it. If you have to count on your ticket sales in order to give the event, forget about it. If you don't trust yourself enough to put $20,000 up out of your pocket to give the event, don't give it. Because that means even you don't think you can pull it off. Otherwise, and if you don't have the money to do it, just don't do it. Now, that's my personal opinion. But anyway, I'm saying all of that because I just want people to understand that we, us consumers, the people who patronize your event, we don't want to deal with all of the things that are going on with you in your life. We want to have a good time at your event without all the headaches, without all the nonsense, and without you treating people like they are nobodies, like they don't exist. Everybody that walks through the door of your event should feel like they are VIP, even if they are not and they didn't pay for it. They should still feel like they are. One of the main things that I really want to get to in this portion of tonight's show, because I'm only going to be on here an hour and I'm already 23 minutes in, but I'm going to cover some things right quick before I talk about the rest of our roster for the year. Pastor D all the way down there in San Diego, I see you. Dr. Francine, God is faithful. Uh-oh, that man, yeah, we got to celebrate that man, Big 7-0, y'all. So listen to me. And Bernice Newsom Short says right now, I want to be appreciated. There you go. You think about it. People talk about, we still using this term that most of the people who are monikered by it find it derogatory. Heavy hitters. Y'all want to know who the real heavy hitters are? Y'all. The people who spend $100, $150 to go to an event. The people who bought that purple outfit because the theme was purple this year. The people who paid all these high-ass plane prices. And now with Southwest, we got to pay baggage. To pay for these hotels, that's $100+ per night, some too. Y'all, those are the heavy hitters. I coined that phrase, some too. I coined that phrase, by the way, from my man DJ Stretch Alex, who, by the way, is convalescing and getting better. And let me give a shout out to that man as well. And I'm saying that because the real heavy hitters are the people who spend that money, baby. The people who come and patronize these events. But again, we have to figure out, pick and choose, which events are you going to go to and what are the deciding factors as consumers. Now, promoters. And I'm talking to all my promoters and all my people who want to promote right now. The number one, well, let me put it this way. 3 things that you want to make sure that you have covered in your purse, the very first things that you're going to have your bread for. Okay? Your venue, set aside $10,000 for that off the top. Now that's just at a minimum, depending on where you're going. Your DJs, who by the way never get paid enough money, and your contract. And if you want to really know the truth, the very first thing that you should be concerned about is the contract. And Janet Wooten says, and probably didn't get a dance. See? The contract. This is something that we in the past have not really discussed too much. Tony Anthony, my man Brick in the building. What's up, baby? Let's talk about these contracts, y'all. I am familiar with and friends with, let me be careful with that word, a lot of individuals, people who are promoters, people who have established friendships, business relationships, associations, acquaintances, and so on. Let me tell y'all something. I don't give a damn how much of a friend we are. And especially if it's somebody that I'm not real familiar with, don't ask me to do anything without, right off the top, without a contract. Dr. Francine says, please add business insurance because we know folks don't have it. Man, listen, I ain't even get to that yet. I want to talk about the contracts, but you're absolutely correct, Francine. Listen to me. And here's why. As of late, and in the past, it is, and I'm going to tell y'all this, and I know y'all, many of you know this. If you've been around this community any amount of time, you already know this, but let me tell you something. This community is very fluid. I have watched people who were the best of friends fall out over nothing. I have watched people who you never would have thought in a million years would disrespect each other or do or say things to or about each other. I've watched them do it. Most times unnecessarily. And oftentimes we really don't know why, if you really want to be honest. People have all kinds of personal shit going on in their life. People have all kinds of other issues. And sometimes the ugly parts jump out. Sometimes we should be lenient toward these people if we actually care about them. Other times you find out that there are individuals who genuinely just don't like you. You didn't know that, but you find that out. I found that out a couple of years ago, as an example, with someone who I didn't even know had disdain for me until it came out. And then there it was. I've had someone recently get real sideways with me. Somebody I never would have thought would have done that. But it's okay. Because in the end, every dog has his day. Now, what I'm going to say here is, if we can't coexist in this business, because let me tell y'all something, the minute money got injected into the Steppin game, and what I mean by that is when it came to the point where we were no longer just dancing for money, dancing in contests to get paid on the south side and west side of Chicago, the minute people started charging for instruction and all this other stuff, Steppin game went left, got messed up, okay? Now, once that happened, here we are where people are more interested in, a lot of people think getting into promotion, all of a sudden they're going to get this big bag and they go, ooh, I'm going to get that, I'm going to make money. No, that's not always the case. I've watched people lose their ass. I've watched people lose relationships and a bunch more stuff because they got the wrong idea in their head some kind of way about what this is. And they screwed it up. Now, back to the contracts. You get into these situations where there are people that you care about and you become friends. But you know what's real quick to break up a relationship, whether it's friendship, marriage, don't matter, money. Money will rip apart everything you thought you had. Right quick. It'll show you who people are. Money is nothing more than a magnifier. What do I mean? I mean, money will determine who you really are, because this is what money does. Whatever type of person you really genuinely are, money tends to magnify that. It tends to make you act out in that direction, good or bad, more, because you have the flexibility and the ability to affect a few things differently because you can spread around a little money. Which is why you have some people who walk around lying about how much money they have so they can try and prove that they're more powerful than they really are. These are impotent individuals. They show their impotence by bragging about how much money they have. Anytime you want to know how somebody ain't got no money, they always talking about how much money they got. Here's what happens. People who got money don't talk about it. Believe that. People who don't have money don't know that. So they talk about what people who with money have and do. And they wouldn't know because they don't have any. So there you go. Anyway, here's what happens. When you're dealing with a contract with these events, I've seen some contracts in this event that are weak, in my opinion. There are people who have looked at my contract and they'd be like, damn, 7, 8, 9 pages, 10 pages? Really? Yes, really. Here's why. There is a necessity for us to have clarity. If our friendship should falter in the midst of all of this, I need to know, and so should you, that we're going to hold up to our end of the bargain, right? So I'm going to go down a list of sections in one of my contracts. For example, I have a few different ones for different things. One of the things, and these are things that you should have in your contract. Even if you go and do an event with someone else, you should have your contract and they should have their contract. And you should each be able to sign one another's contract if you are in agreement with the things that are in it for the purpose of doing good business and having recourse if that person should decide to back out or not doing what they should do. I would love the fact that there are individuals who I can, once we say that's what we're doing, that's what it is. Period. That we don't have to backtrack. These are people with good integrity. These are people who pay their bills. These are people who do what they're supposed to do. So, let me get to it. The very first section of my contract, it lays out the dates of the contract. That means effective date, and the effective date is the exact time that we agree by signing this contract. That is the effective date. That effective date also comes with a deposit that says you're going to pay me X amount of dollars, and this amount of money right here is going to secure me for that time. It's not open for discussion. If you cannot do it that way, we can stop right here. We don't have to go any further. Right? Now, and like Tony Anthony just said, this is personal. This is business, not personal. That's right. Next, and Dr. Francine, you're right. She says that she still highly recommends talking with a contract attorney first for language and even paying for an attorney to make your master contract. 100% I agree with her. And I'm glad you said that, Dr. Francine. Thank you very much. Let me preface this by saying this is not legal advice. And as my disclaimer says, the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of us, and so on. Anyway, this is not legal advice, but I'm giving you an example of what I do so that you understand what I think is required in order for you to do good business with someone else. And here's the funny thing. She just said on here that you should seek an attorney for language, right? But check this out. I've seen people in this game with contracts that are so weak and so limited that it is insane. They absolutely mean nothing. If you took that piece of paper to court, they would laugh your ass out of there, straight up. Now, I'm telling y'all this, right? Now, And we ain't going to even get into if this goes so far as to where people start talking about the IRS, them alphabet boys. See, we ain't going to even get into that because let's keep it a buck. Is everybody claiming what they supposed to claim on the 15th coming up? Well, the 15th passed, didn't it? Yeah. You understand me? All right, now let's get to it. The very first thing on here is the effective date. This is the effective date. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Who is and who the contract is between, right below where the effective date goes. So between myself, who is going to be referred to as whatever throughout the contract. All of that's written in. Then myself, my company, whichever one I choose, right? Now, moving forward, the very next thing that you're going to get on my contract is a description of services. That means that I am going to lay out, with options, of course, because there are a few things in there that can be tweaked, a description of what I intend to do for you for the amount of money that you are going to pay me to do it. It clearly lays out what you need as a service, and I'm going to provide for you for this amount of money. That way there's no confusion, no discrepancies about what is going to be in there, right? Now, the next thing, after we get the description down and we talk about what all is going to happen and the dates and the times, specific times, because my contracts literally end at 11:59 of that day. What? Huh? At 11:59 of the day that we are done doing business. That's it. There's nothing carrying forward unless, because I do have a section for addendums, we agree to something else, and anything that we talk about outside of this paperwork right here, it don't count. I don't care what I tell you. If it ain't on this contract, it ain't open for discussion. And I don't care what I said. If we didn't write it on this paper, it don't mean nothing to me. Unless you are a person who I deal with integrity, and we have agreed that this is going to be what it's going to be. That's a different ball game, because now I'm talking about people who I have done business with, trust, and know that they're going to pay their bill. Now, but even in that case, it can get misconstrued, and next thing you know, well, that ain't what you said. This paper right here tells everything need to be said. The next thing is performance of services. Okay? That means that we're going to explain what is required in order for us to perform those services. What is required for you to provide us and for us to provide for ourselves and so on. And I'll give you an example. Let's use my DJ contract, right? It specifically says in there that I expect, and not Steppin DJ contract, or Steppin DJ contracts. Anyway, it says in there that I expect to have 1 6-foot table or more, 6 to 8 foot table with proper dressings. Also, I'm expected to have a clean outlet to plug into, clean electricity, 120 volt. I expect to have a chair with proper dressing. It even goes so far as to explain that as the DJ, especially if I'm doing a wedding or a corporate event, if there's food being served, that myself and any staff that I have with me, which may or may not be one other person, expect to be fed like the guests. That's in there. Now, moving forward. The next part is payment and accommodations. I have stipulations in there that dictate specifically that I expect to be paid this is the total amount of money minus the deposit that you put down, along with whether or not you are going to provide our transportation, be it a rental car, gas, be it airfare, baggage costs, and everything else that goes with that, along with everything that comes with that. Now, where it comes to the hotel, our accommodations, where will we be staying? Is there transportation to and from if it's not in a central location? so on and so forth, right? Now, all of that's in there. And to add to that, I have a rule that specifically states that if we do not have confirmation to and from the event, airfare, if you will, prior to 7 days before your event, we are not getting on an airplane and you lose your deposit. If we don't have our hotel, and I mean to and from, if we don't have our hotel accommodations, confirmation number, so I can call that hotel and say, my confirmation number, okay, we're expecting you such date. If I can't do that, I'm not coming. 7 days. You got 7 days prior to the event. If I don't have that, we're not coming. You lose your deposit. It's written in here. You ain't got to sign it. It's up to you. But those are the rules. That's just part of it. Then there is a stipulation in here that I personally have because we are inside Steppin and we do sell our products, right? I have a merchandising agreement that allows me to sell my shirts and towels if we want to at an event. Within reason, of course. We're not, we ain't going to be all over the place. Hey, get your shirt. No, on our table like that, right? I have a cancellation policy in here. There is a courtesy stipulation that dictates when we broadcast, how we broadcast, and so on. Work product ownership and copyright. As a person who creates content, I have to make sure that I have, as intellectual property, my stuff, and no one can touch, talk about it without my permission. It's mine. I created the content. It may be at your event, but I own it. Period. That's in there. I make it clear about my relationship to parties, meaning inside Steppin, Urban Arts Enterprises does not work for that promoter, does not answer to anyone at that establishment other than the individual who signed that contract. And even then, there's no agreements made after the fact unless we have agreed to something and made an addendum and signed off on it on the contract, right? Then we have, and this is one of my favorites, and this is something that I recently added based on some other things that I saw that I didn't like. We have a confidentiality and non-disclosure. Why do we have that? Well, because you have people who like to discuss your business with others. If I find out, let's just say, for example, I got a promoter that I like. I really like this guy. This is a good friend of mine. And I'm only going to charge them X amount of dollars. Well, then they turn around and they say, tell somebody else, well, he only going to charge you such. Really? Now you've discussed my business. See, non-disclosure. You don't get to talk about my business to other people. And if I find out that you did, I'm going to sue you. And I'm not, and when I say that, it is not a hollow, empty threat. I've been in many civil cases. Many civil cases. I've only lost one. And there was a reason for that. I will sue you. Do not speak about my business, period. Don't talk about how much money I charge. Don't talk about none of that. And that part of the contract extends for 2 years after the event. You got 2 years not to talk about my business. All right? Now, you can't talk about what we like to refer to as proprietary things that go on around my stuff. You don't get to talk about that. I have a warranty in this contract that dictates that we are going to hold up to our end of it like any other warranty. We have, we fix things. We make sure stuff is right. We have a safety and security clause, meaning if I come to your event and I got people that are drunk and falling all over my equipment and break something, you're responsible. If someone on my team is threatened, harmed, get robbed in the parking lot, you're responsible as a promoter. What? Period. Our safety and security is imperative. Now, on my DJ contract, not only do we have a safety and security clause, we also have a clause in there that specifically states that we have the right and will be provided with parking right near wherever we have to work from so that we're at our equipment and our availability to other things, accessories, whatever is right there. is accessible to us. And we don't have to walk across the parking lot with a 10,000 pounds of equipment to put our stuff away or to set it up. That's in there. I have an entire section in here where we talk about remedies, where we talk about things like arbitration, court costs, attorney fees, so on. I have a clause in here for force majeure. Most people don't know what force majeure is. Force majeure means that, let's say there is COVID, natural disaster, the plane goes down, whatever. It holds harmless individuals in this contract because those are things that are beyond our control and that keep us from holding each other accountable for some things that we have no control over. We had no control over COVID. We have no control over natural disaster. We have no control over these types of things. So I want to read what Dr. Francine wrote. Also, promoters need to start understanding that when they hire you, they now become the employer. You are responsible for that person. For example, what would you want your job, work, or to provide for you? Don't expect me or you to come to your event, yet I am paying out of my pocket to come to your event. You are the employer. It's your responsibility to take care of the employee, i.e. me, when you hire me. All of this should be in the contract. Yes, and it absolutely is. Thank you, Francine, for that. You're absolutely correct. Now, yes, Kenneth Wynn, acts of God. Absolutely. That's what it is. So all of that is in there. Now, we also have what describes the entire contract, servability, amendments, governing laws, because let me tell y'all something. We travel all over the country with this, right? And the question then becomes, let's say we have a problem. Let's say we, don't agree on something, or one of us has broken our end of the contract. Well, now jurisdiction becomes an issue. Can I sue you in your state, or do I need to sue you in my state? Which state will the laws be abided by in regard to the contract? Now, I could put Texas on there and make you have to travel to me when I sue you. I could file against you in your own state and so on. All of that is so important. The governing law part has to be in there. Hey, Wise Cat, what's up, baby? Good to see you. Eric Washington in the house. Hey, Antonita Lachey. So that is an overview of what, as a minimum, should be in a contract for you dealing with these events. Now, I've seen people with some of these, well, I agree for you to pay me $200 to do this, and boom, that's it. Listen, that dog ain't gonna hunt, baby. I'm just telling you. Now, what you got to say? Oh, yeah, Francine say we need more educational lights like this. Producer lady all on it. Because I bet you right now, half of the promoters are not legal businesses. Exactly. Did you go out and file a DBA or an LLC or a C Corp or S Corp that says that you are actually even legally able to do business as a company? Sole proprietor, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Can you do that? See, most of them cannot. Lillian Hole, how you doing? And the list goes on and on and on. So you want to be a promoter? We ain't even got past you sitting and figuring out what your contractual things are. See? And like Francine said earlier, and this is something that Stretch used to talk about all the time, event insurance. What happens if you give an event? Are you expecting the hotel's insurance to cover you when the dance floor that you put down belong to you, or you somebody slips and falls because somebody in your event spilled a drink? Who's responsible for that? Do you have event insurance? As another example, let's say you're giving an event and force majeure is put into play because we have a natural disaster. COVID, a pandemic, bad weather. You know, event insurance, now mind you, you done collected 150, 200, 300 people's $150, $200. And guess what? They want their money back now because they can't come to your event because the weather's bad. Oh, because everybody is walking around hacking and coughing up lungs. Can you pay them back? Now, mind you, you done already spent $15,000 on your room. You done paid for all of these beautiful things to be placed in the room for it to look good. You done paid deposits on other stuff. And now all of a sudden, you can't do your event. Can you pay those people their money back? They didn't do nothing to you. And they can't come to your event now. You got their money? Event insurance. See, this is before we ever start talking about spending money on anything else. Still want to be a promoter? Okay. Huh? 753? Damn, I'm pushing it, ain't I? So I'm saying all of that just to give you an overview. Valeria Connor, how you doing, baby? Sheldon Patrick in the house. Just to give you an overview of what it looks like to do this the right way. See, think about it. We've been lucky. There's only been a few occasions where we've had people actually pass out at an event or something happen to them. But fortunately, we do have a lot of people in our community that are medically trained and other things. But the point is still, is this something that you really want to get into? And do it the right way. See? And everybody involved. Now, what if promoters, I'm going to tell you like this. Let's say you're a promoter and you are a legal business and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you say, well, I'm going to have these vendors come in. And the vendor comes in with something that harms everybody. And that vendor is not a legal business. Should you, as a promoter, have vetted your vendors to make sure that they are properly licensed and insured before allowing them on the premises of your event? You see how tricky all of this gets? And most people be like, I ain't doing all that. Yeah, okay. Keep thinking it's sweet. You got people who make soaps, who do, make different perfume type product, things like that. What if one of them was a crazy person and decided, I'm going to put acid in everything today, and everybody that puts it on them, now they all get, oh my God. Guess who's going to get sued? Guess who about to lose their ass? You. You are. You're done. Personally, forget professionally, because if you was professional, you would have your stuff in order. But you about to lose, baby. Big time. See? Dr. Francine said, that's why they don't like me. I'm the professional. I'm the truthful business consultant. But Dr. Francine, tell me tell everybody if I'm lying or not. Am I telling the truth? See, I've been around. See, people think that I started doing Inside Steppin in 2005. When did we start? No, I'll say 5. No, I mean, we started doing Inside Steppin in 2018, 17. It was 17, I think. Was it not? No, it was 17. 17 or 18. It don't matter. It don't even matter. For the point of illustration, we started doing this show just 4 or 5 years ago. But what people need to understand is that I've been in business since the late 90s. I didn't just start doing stuff because this show came on and all of a sudden I started talking about this community that I love so much. I did this because I got tired of watching people get raped and raked over the coals and treated badly by people who have other ulterior motives and agendas. That's why I started doing this. Not for no other reason. Ain't no big checks coming in here. I do have a few people who donate to this show, and I thank you so much for it because it does make a difference. But for the most part, and when I say that, we ain't talking about no thousands of dollars. No, it ain't like that. We do get donations. And let me say right now, thank y'all so much for those who do. For those of you who purchase our T-shirts. Just like my man Tim Ellington. He's like, man, bring some shirts, black and bling. People like that, y'all make the difference. And I'm saying that to say, there's a reason we do this. Yeah, Bucky money. There's a reason we do this. And it has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with making sure that people get what they need intellectually in order to have fun in this dance and do it the right way and be safe and comfortable and not feel like this is a struggle. You understand what I'm saying? It's more to this game than just showing up and dancing. It's just that simple. Yeah. She over there. She got my personal clock over there. You got my dinner ready? That's what you trying to tell me? I'm messing with her, y'all. I don't want no smoke tonight. She was like, what? Dinner? What? No. So I'm saying all of this because people need to understand what is required in order to do this properly. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. If you don't have the purse, just don't do it. Wait till you get your bag up and then come and try and present a good set for people to enjoy. But be protective of yourself in the process because you will get screwed. Period, point blank. Don't put yourself in a bad position. Beamer Johnson, how you doing, baby? Lorenzo Patterson in the building. Lorenzo Edward Moore. What up, Zoe? You understand? So there's more to this, a lot more. And I just felt compelled because this is what I want all of y'all to really understand. From a consumer standpoint, promoters go through an awful lot to provide these events. However, promoters, it doesn't give you a license to treat people badly. It doesn't give you license because you're going through something. And remember, this was your choice to give an event. Do not take it out on your patrons. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how much money you're losing. You could be losing your shirt. You still need to treat those people the way they deserve to be treated because they supported you. They came and spent their money. The real heavy hitters showed up and showed out. They flew across country. They bought outfits. They paid the fare. They paid for the hotels. Those are the heavy hitters. Those are the people that make the difference. Treat them. And the producer lady definitely has a pet peeve about people not speaking to her when it comes to promoters. Well, here's an example. Jeannie Shoe Girl, what's happening? When we first moved to San Antonio, what up, Cheryl Head? We had an incident where we went to an event. Lynn John, how you doing? And the promoter basically overlooked us in a small event. Just walked past us like we weren't standing there. My wife and I have hosted things in our past. And one thing that you will get from every person that came into our events, our parties, our hosting at clubs. I literally had a man walk up to me one night and he said, man, you make everybody that walks through the door feel like they VIP. I will be back. Why not? As far as I'm concerned, if you spent your money with me, you are a VIP. You didn't have to spend a dime with me. Not one red cent. Lisa Alexander, how you doing, baby? Cat in the Hat, what's happening? You didn't have to do that. Now, my man Irie just made a comment that here's another thing that, you got to think about. Security and off-duty CPD officers are costing at the homecoming close to $5,000, just $5,000 just for security. See my point? This is not easy. Don't you ever. See, people look at what promoters do and they go, I can do that. I'm going to throw an event. Yeah. I'm going to do that too. You have no idea what's required. And then you wonder why you lose money. Don't be that person. Do your homework. Find someone that is going to lead you in the right direction. And don't just find someone because they're popular. Ooh, I can't stress this enough. And even if you do know the person, like the person, whatever the case may be, baby, when I tell you, ask questions. Let me tell you, let me give you an old, I don't know if I can remember the exact proverb. The truth has no problem with being questioned, but the lie does. Liars do not want you to ask anyone anything. They do not want to be vetted. They don't want anyone to say anything about them because they know how that's going to come back. Instructors, DJs, promoters, and anybody else in this community, if you can't pick up the phone and ask about that person, or they're worried about and trying to alienate you from everybody else, let that be a red flag. I said it, I'll say it again, and anybody that got a problem with it, y'all know how to find me. I'm easy to find. Anybody who cannot be questioned about what comes out of their mouth or how they move in this community, red flag, run. Get the hell away from them because they don't mean you no good and they ain't getting ready to do nothing good for you. I said it, and I'm here for all the smoke. Believe that. Now, you're going to be a promoter. Do what you need to do the right way. Let me go over my last little notes here so that we can close out this show. Producer lady says 8:05. I won't be eating. She tried to tell me the kitchen closed. How what you doing to me, baby? I'm going to ask this question again to my promoters and those who want to promote. What do you care about? Josiah Bird in the house. Hey, Vonda Powell, I see you. What do you care about? Because if you don't care about the people, Keith Hubbard in the building, you don't care about how you treat people, you say if they got a problem with something that you're doing or not doing the way they think you should, that they ain't got to come and F them, you ain't got no business being a promoter. It's as simple as that. Go find something else to do. If you don't have the proper customer service, the organization, your contracts in place, and your willingness to be good to the people who are kind enough to use their disposable income to come to be a part of your event, you in the wrong end of this game. Stick to dancing. Leave it over there. The guests, as Tony Brown Huff just said, are number one most important. If you're not going to do that, don't do it. Save us all the headache. Don't be out here just experimenting all willingly. Well, you can if you want to. It's your money. You're going to waste it, and you're going to waste a whole bunch of people's time, and you're going to get a bad reputation, and they're going to be calling you trash, and so on. That's how that's going to go. Now, let me shut up. I want everybody, see, this is how we bring people together. This is how we all are able to coexist in this community. When things that people don't think about or take for granted or don't put on the table for others to understand and to come together in so that we see each other's perspective. See, there's one thing that I'm going to pat myself on the back and pride myself in this moment for making an attempt, even if whether I have or haven't, I'm attempting with this subject as well as others to bridge a gap between two sections of our community so that we're better able to coexist and have some understanding for one another. The promoters sometimes get beside themselves and they need to understand about the people. You were once those people. The people need to understand that promoters go through an awful lot. They spend a lot of money. They do a lot of things to make these things happen. Therefore, work with them. Everything does not require a sledgehammer. Every problem, every nail does not require a sledgehammer. Every problem is not a nail. It don't have to be beat. It don't require the violence necessary to knock it down. A lot of things can be solved without all that extra stuff. Grace Holden, how you doing, baby? Patrice Delacour. Yes, we want to be very VIP heavy hitters also. That's right. Absolutely correct. Michael Cortez, how you doing? He say he care about those that care and have passion in the quality that they show towards others in their gifts and talents with the touch of educated compassion. Absolutely. And that's all we all want. We all want to be treated a certain kind of way. Listen, we all love to dance, right? We go to the sets, we dance, we have a good time. I love to talk to people and do all the kind of things I do. But let's keep it a buck. And I'm going to use another proverb. Not a proverb. It was actually a quote by, was it Maya Angelou? You may forget what people say to you, but you will never forget how they make you feel. So the question becomes, after you left an event, how did you feel? Forget everything else that went on. Don't even put the actual incidents, the fun, the bad stuff, the good stuff. Don't put none of it in your head. How did you feel when you left? Were you happy? Did you feel excited about the next one? Were you excited to tell other people, oh my God, we had so much fun? How did you feel? Did you feel like, man, that trash, I'll never go back there? How did it make you feel? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And when you can answer that, let that determine how you spend your money the next time. Your market share, your valuable dollar, your money that you earned. You went to work, worked 8 hours a day. Not all y'all. Some of y'all retired. You went and did all the stuff that you did in your life to make your bread, to get your bag, even if you in retirement. That's still your damn money. And you choose how you spend it. Do you give your money to people and places and things that are of no value to you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. The promoters owe you, but you also owe them. We owe each other. And as long as we can continue to do that, we're going to be beautiful. Now, listen, old lady, producer lady over here she's trying to cut the show off, y'all. You hungry? Well, I'm hungry too. You can go fix my dinner. Y'all see what I got to put up with? Okay, so listen, y'all. Let me run down this itinerary right quick. Okay, you gonna give me the order? Okay. Black and Bling 10-year anniversary, y'all. End of the month, May 31st. We will be in Dallas, Texas. What? Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? What is it? April 3rd? It's May 1st. May 1st. I'm thinking about, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Calm down. May 1st, Dallas, Texas. Black and Bling, 10-year anniversary. Devin and Tommy Smith. My girl Helen over there. It's going down. We're going to get it in, you dig. Don't play no games. Oh, what, for Black and Bling? Okay. Poppy said you can still get tickets on that one. $150. Contact Devin or Tommy or one of the crew over there at there. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, that's one of my favorite events, and it is because, guess why? When I leave Black and Bling, I feel good. That right there means everything to me. Then we have May 31st, the reunion. My girl Sunshine, Chicago, Illinois, Diva Boot Camp is going down. We will be in the building. We will be having a fantastic time, y'all. That is going to be a time to be had. San Antonio will be in the house real deep. We doing what we do. Y'all get ready for that. Then we have, following that one, we got my girl Sandra V out there in Las Vegas. Myron Mello, Chris. We got Andre Blackwell. My man Devin Smith going to be the MC out there. Maddie B doing the line dance. And Carmichael. And it's a birthday celebration for Carmichael and Maddie B. And it's going down, y'all. We're going to have a great time in Vegas. Y'all get ready for that. Let me see. Who else we got? We got Ted the Boss coming up with the Crush and Cream over there in August. We got July off, y'all. That's unusual. We normally don't have July off, but we got July off. No, I didn't. I'm going to Crush and Cream. No, I got it right here. Okay. Yeah. Red. 9th annual Crush and Cream. Red is the theme, y'all. My man Ted. There's another well thought out, well planned, solid event.
Never hot.
Yeah, oh my God, you're never hot. You ain't gonna sweat. Fellas, you can wear your suits up in there. Matter of fact, you probably need to wear your suit because you're gonna be cold, baby. Let me tell you something. Stephen Wright said on Casper's birthday, May the 31st. Yes, that's my dude. May he rest well. Darlene Mans, how you doing, baby? good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been, lady? Better come hang out with me. Well, I know Darlene gonna be at
Yeah, wait till that.
Denim and Diamonds, but we gonna get to that in a minute. So yeah, anyway, on the Crush and Cream roster, we got Pat Clay, Kevin Dockery, Greg Dixon, and Ted DeBoss, all for workshops. E.T. Taylor, my man, Pony Mac, DJ Fly Diva, my man Smooth, Black Ice, and DJ Randy E. And my man Steppin George. DJ George, he gonna be in the house, and me and my man Lamont Watts will be doing the broadcasting from that event. Let's see what else we got. That's okay. That's in August. Now that following week, we will be at the homecoming, y'all. We will be in Chicago for what is sure to be the largest stepper set in history. You dig?
Wedding anniversary.
And we'll be celebrating. What is that? 30.
August 30th.
August 30th. That whole weekend, Poppy and I, me and the producer lady, will be celebrating 33 years married. We've been together 35 years. We'll be celebrating 33 years during that weekend as well. Also, then of course, 2 weeks.
You're gonna be DJing
What?
after party with Black Cool.
Oh yeah. Don't let me forget that. And I will be, y'all. I'm telling y'all now. You don't come support your boy. We fighting the after party. At
Saturday at the homecoming. Me and Black Cool.
You want to do this? Nope. Saturday night at the homecoming after set. Yours truly, myself and DJ Black Ice will be on the ones and twos. Did I say Black Ice? I'm sorry. Black Cool will be on the ones and twos. That's definitely a mistake. We will be in there blowing the roof off that thing, so y'all get ready for that because that's my dude. We're going to tear it up. So if y'all think y'all better save y'all energy during the main party because the after set going to be bananas. Don't play. Anyway, 2 weeks from then, y'all, we're going to be, of course, at the world's largest. And yes, it will be off the hinges because it is the year of the Masters. Now, for those of you who are new to Steppin', the Masters happens every 5 years, and it is when the best of the best get on stage and show all the way out to get that once every 5 year trophy and money. The Masters this year, y'all. We will be in the house. Then, of course, we have Valeria Connor. End of September. Last of September, we will be in. It's her 10-year anniversary, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shout out to my man, Mr. Henry, her significant other, who has gone on to be with the ancestors in honor of him. 10-year anniversary. Denim and Diamonds, off one of my favorite sets, y'all. You are going to have a fantastic time. We will be in the building doing it to death. You dig? And then we have in October, we have, wait a minute. Tina's third pink party in Steppin'. Now, y'all, this is in Houston, Texas. The Shy High Steppers presents third annual pink party. Steppin', VIP guest. DJ Crazy Q, that's my dude. I always get his name messed up. I think that's right. I think I said it right. Hey, Q, if you watching, don't beat me up. We're gonna have Carmichael, my man, Ambassador Kevin Nevels, myself, and the producer lady will be in the building. This is October 26th of 2025 from 6 to 11 p.m. at the El Dorado Ballroom in Houston. And you guys, it's free.
12 years.
She is celebrating 12 years cancer-free, you guys. We will be in the house celebrating with her. We encourage you to do the same. It's going to be a great, great set. And that rounds us out for the year, right? That's about it. Okay, so with that said, you guys, I got to hurry up and I got to let this young lady feed me or we're going to be fighting because she wants to feed me that badly, y'all.
I want to eat.
Oh, no, is that what it is? You just want to eat. Okay, I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. Oh, you know what? I would be remiss. I'm sorry. Let me mention one other small tidbit of information. October 2026, CK Productions, collaboration together, coming soon. Stay tuned. We will be doing the damn thing in Houston. Y'all get ready. It's a collaboration, CK Production event. Yep. Your boy is jumping in the promoter ring. It's going down. Believe it. And I'm going to leave y'all with One last quote. There are those in the world who like to play games. And all I'm going to say is, don't lie on me, and I won't tell the truth on you. With that said, I want everyone to have themselves a wonderful, wonderful evening. I thank you all for tuning in. I hope that y'all got something from it. I hope that something was learned. I hope. I pray. That is the purpose of Inside Steppin'. I love y'all. And in the words of Tony Adway, ain't nothing you can do about it. And I want you to all to enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. If you are in San Antonio, we expect to see you all on Saturday. We got my man Drew coming into San Antonio to do his thing. He'll be doing workshops. Yeah, Drew's first time and Drew Alexander first time in San Antonio. He's gonna be doing the workshops on Sunday, but we will be partying. He's gonna be doing privates on Saturday morning. Set is on Saturday afternoon. Oh, you doing them on Friday too? You already talked to him? Okay, so Friday workshops, Saturday workshops, Saturday set, Sunday we'll be doing the workshop. I'm sorry, privates on Friday and Saturday. Saturday event, Sunday we'll be doing the workshop. So y'all get ready. Make sure you get your privates in. Make sure you get ready and get your payments in for the workshop. Here in San Antonio, live, we're going to be getting it in. It's going down. Myself and my man DJ Mr. Mello will be on the 1s and 2s. Chicago's on West Side. It's going down. Thank y'all. Have a good night. I love you. And we out of here. I don't even have my outro ready, y'all. It's 8. You just over there counting time. I wish you stopped. I feel like I'm being, y'all, why I got to be pressed on my own show? What's really going on? I don't understand that.
Let me out.
I don't understand why I got to be pressed on my own show. I want to do something right
Good
quick.
night.
Yeah, good night, y'all. I'm messing up right now. I'm trying to figure things out. What did I do? Oh, there we go. Okay, I always want to put my quote up before I go, y'all. Don't ever forget this. Never measure an event by the quantity of people in attendance, but by the quality of memories you create with the people who are present. Please remember that, y'all. It's so very important. It's so very important. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.